I didn't play week 2, but week 1 he went all the way to the round 16 before losing to Clamp. So Clamp made it to the regionals. So I expect a strong game from Napalm here. And Grego also did okay in week 2 of the qualifier, but he lost his third match. So um, my gut tells me Napalm is gonna have be the stronger of the two in regard to play, but you never know. You never know. That's why they play the games.
Absolutely, and it is going to be time to jump into it here now. So Corrupted Keep again, definitely an action-packed map as we've already seen multiple times throughout the course today. It's led into some very quick refrags. Like I said before, that we are getting in a little bit deeper into the bracket itself here now. So hopefully the matches themselves will be a little bit more contested, and we'll get to see some closer, some trade frags and whatnot, and not just just some outright domination from some of our players like we were having in some of the earlier matchups. And I actually need to turn the sound on. That would help. There we go. So it is time to jump into it, folks, and we're going to take a look at this now and see which player is going to come out on top and push themselves through into the round of 32.
3, 2,
But they'll have just one more match to play to be able to push forward and earn themselves a slot in the Sunday qualifier as well to try and earn their slot at the regionals. But let's get into it here now. We're going to start off by taking a look at Grego's perspective. See if he can start off with some nice frags against Napalm. Now, Napalm goes in, he gets the initial Mega Health spawn, so fortunately for Grego, he's got a lot of health to whittle off, but doesn't have as much armor. Grego kind of stuck in a corner, though, so this is going to be a bit of an issue for him. Already down to 23 HP. Force uses injection. He's got no safe path to get out of this room right now, and the injection, well, you just saw it, it's already gone. So he has to get the heck out of here as soon as he sees his opponent leave the room to also regenerate a little bit of health. But no, he's not even safe there. Pushed back again into the big red room.
He should be looking to get this mega health before Napalm gets back over there, which he did. It's good.
Napalm is right close by, however. So Grego's got to keep moving. Thankfully, he's got a lot of speed on the Anarchy, so doesn't have to worry about that aspect of it too much. Sorelai can also move pretty quick too, so he needs to be a bit careful of that, but at the moment, just taking it nice and slow to try and lock his opponent into a duel, and he's done it, but again, ends up in a bad position, so he's going to be locked up top here, and with the health pool being in fear, and just losing the mega health now, that's going to be really bad for him, as he potentially could lose the full armor as well.
No, that was a nice... Napalm took position and was looking to delay more than actually engage, and just gave himself an avenue to retreat to the heavy armor. This is a good setup play by Napalm to grab the heavy armor next. But he's in a good spot right now.
And there's going to be a straight up full 100 damage nade as Grego tries to find some advantage in this fight. Tagged a little bit though, however, by the spit from the Sorlag, so that is going to bring his health pool down even more, knocking off about a third of it. Quickly recovered, however, so he's still good. Nice fadeaway rocket as he goes into this room, looking to try and control it for as long as he can. And there we go. Picks up the full armor. Now can jump back into this fight. He's got a little bit more to play with, and he will finally claim that first kill against Napalm.
Nice turnaround by Grego there. You know, he evened out the score a little bit and got in a straight LG battle. You know, Anarchy versus Sorlag. That big hitbox compared to the Anarchy. I mean, he had the advantage in a straight LG fight like that. So, good engagement by Grego.
Once again, he's now got good positioning too to try and ooh, just hit himself with a rocket though, so that's not great, but thankfully it doesn't negate him too much in its current form, as he's got great control over the rest of the map, and now he's going to be able to lead himself into the full armor pickup too, or now he can jump back in since he's got that full armor. Try to fight, but doesn't really connect on either of those first two rockets for some massive damage, so it doesn't end up being too well advised of an engagement, and he does decide to back away, since he has spawns coming up here in a moment. Not this time the mega health, the mega health though, but it doesn't seem like Napalm's gonna have too much of a lock on it currently either. So he's just leaving it sitting there.
Definitely a little miscalculation by Grego. He had time to get in position to challenge or deny. So I'm not quite sure what his plan was there.
And Napalm still trying to lock down Grego. Very skittish in the way that he's playing currently, but it's working out in his favor so far. Not only is he able to get away from these fights a lot, but he's also wasting a bunch of time since he does still have the one champion advantage currently. So if he wastes enough time, as long as he himself, of course, doesn't end up dying, and he's still good to win this round in about a minute and a half. He would definitely want to. He's getting stuck over there by the LG spawn and having to fight his way out. That's like the third time that's happened now just in this round. So he's going to be a little bit more careful of that. It's a good thing that Napalm hasn't really been able to capitalize on that, and Napalm again runs into a great situation to engage, but oh no, messes up big time. Now he's only down to 23 HP, trying to spam the rockets to keep Grego back. It works, but oh, just as he's about to go in and pick up some health, Grego comes in and finishes off the job to claim a second kill.
Yeah, Napalm, unfortunately, came out of that teleporter. Probably wanted, Grego, but then the engagement just started poorly for him. He fell down and he tried to die orb back up, and he missed the die orb, and then he was in that bad spot below, and Grego made him pay.
So Grego now, again, trying to just hide at this point. 45 seconds remaining. Basically just wants to make sure that he doesn't get completely wrecked. So a little bit of an awkward engagement there. Both players kind of like crouch walking into each other as they realize that they're both in the same room. However, Grego now moving away from it, trying to get a lock into where Napalm. I think he just saw him go past that doorway there, so try to fire into it. Still a good 5 seconds or so until that armor comes up, so Napalm mistimes it a little bit, and now Grego, he's going to be able to move in, get himself the full health, and if he wants to, try to route back over there to where the full armor is too. Napalm at the same time. Oh, okay. I just caught that, so not exactly sure how we got into that situation, but Napalm does end up jumping off the map at the end and killing himself.
I think that was... it's like in chess. He just tipped his king in that one. It's like good round, and let's get to the next round. So I mean, Napalm had it. He had control early on, but a couple missteps, and Grego capitalized. So you got to give props to Grego for waiting for that opportunity and making the most of it. Right when the mistake did happen, he jumped on it.
Well, Grego again this is the 4th time now he's gotten trapped back up here, and the injection saves his life again as well. Forced to run away here, and he just barely escapes. Like I said, that's about the 4th time that's happened so far in these 2 rounds.
And on the flip side, right, as we see there, I mean, Napalm had put good damage on him, had a good spot, and just couldn't quite get the finish. If he starts finishing him off, things can turn.
He's great. I was about to say he's great at locking him down over my ledge. He's funny, he just can't kill him there for some reason. He always lets him get away just at the last second. He always brings him super low too, like 20, 30 HP every time. And oh, there's the turnaround. Unfortunately, it's a trade frag as Grego gets just enough damage off on the LG to kill his opponent just as he goes down to his opponent's rocket.
Jumped right into it, landed right on top of that rocket. So curious to see how he recovers. He's playing that Anarchy really strong.
Nice bounce from Napalm. Unfortunately, his opponent has a lot more health to play off of there. And there's the connection. The bleed with the shotgun shots is going to be enough to get that second kill. As Grego now goes ahead again. 2v1, and he's going to try to chase down this spawn kill. However, his opponent has the dual-wielded LGs on the Blazkowicz. So there is where the power of that dual wield comes into play in big fashion and does now bring Grego down to his final champion.
Yeah, tank champion against double lightning gun. Not good. Not good.
That health pool, especially right after you get a kill too and you're kind of exhausted from the last fight, that's just going to completely melt your health pool away. So Napalm trying to be a little bit more skittish here. Now, here comes the clutch jump from Grego. Doesn't really want to dive into that fight into a pit just yet. Napalm wants this. He wants to take this fight in an absolute. So he's trying his best to jump into it. And he did get Grego to use the shield.
Yeah, that was big. He had to use it defensively, so now it's not there for him if he wants to go in for he's vulnerable right now.
He did get back a lot of his health though, so he's at a decent health pool if he does want to try and skirmish. And keep in mind, pretty much even currently at what Napalm has, but overall he can get a way more to work with there. About a third more overall comparatively. The overall health pool, a lot more armor too. So Grego does a good job of pretty much just dodging Napalm. He's already got himself on the complete opposite side of the map as he runs around to recover more health, and that shield's back up too, so the vulnerability time for Grego has gone away, and now he's pretty much back up to full strength.
And Napalm needs to be careful getting it caught in an engagement with the shield up.
He's trying to use some nice aim rockets as he does claim it. Round number 2 goes over to Grego.
Yeah, a little, Napalm was in a good spot, but like I pointed out seconds before it happened, he had to recognize that that clutch shield was going to be up again, and then he was going to be looking to force a close range engagement where he could pop a shield. So when he had him, put the shield down, that was the time to push, and then when it's back up, you got to just kind of try to bait that shield out of him so you have that opportunity again.
Very quick fight again, starting off here in the 3rd round now. Grego almost losing his life, but for the 3rd round in a row now, the injection saves him as he almost goes down to the bleed on the Sorlag. Forced out of the engagement. We're going to fight over top of the lava pit again. Bit of a dangerous spot on the map to fight for. Grego doing okay, as he does not want to take this fight in its current form. There's that Mega Health spawn coming in, so he's going to be able to run over that and grab it pretty quickly here. And for Napalm, well, he's got himself a decent kit built up. So he's probably ready to go in and fight, but oof. Neither player really hitting that well in their initial rocket connections. Napalm, good chance to do it now though, but again, missing big time as he tries to do more of this damage, but really only getting the bleed off there. And obviously Grego's very quickly recovered from that, and he has his injection back up too. However, misreads the situation, and now ends up with his opponent coming up from behind him there. Now he's got to run for his life, get the heck out of here. Thankfully, the time on the spawns works out okay. He will miss the Mega Health, but he did get the full armor. Injection, as he now moves in, does a lot of damage over to Napalm, but not nearly enough. Because Napalm did get the Mega Health. He still is stacked to the brim with HP. Really just lost a lot of armor in that full rocket connection from a few seconds back.
Yeah, I like how Grego took that full rocket hit and disengaged. He recognized, you know, the stack advantage for the Sorlag, so he took that 100 damage, and looking for better position, and just keep making Napalm, you know, kind of maybe make a mistake chasing him around.
All right, and Grego does finally have his injection back up again too, so he's probably going to be okay with re-engaging here, but not in that fashion, getting jumped on. Thankfully, didn't lose a whole lot of health, mainly just armor. So he will be able to back away from this. Try to recover again. Kills yet, still 2 minutes into the round, but there we go. Finally, Napalm is able to lock down Grego. And with 2 quick, direct rocket hits, it's enough to take out Grego and give Napalm the initial advantage here. But the tri-bolt shot's coming out from now Grego as he moves over to the Sorlag. It's quite a bit of damage, but he also takes quite a bit too, and he's just over 50 HP now, trying to survive, and more importantly, trying to deny his opponent the pickup on the full armor there, but it's not going to work out, so Napalm's got a pretty big advantage right now.
Yeah, he made a nice read earlier to get that frag, cut him off, coming up that pad. Now he has both items. Ooh, but he ate that one though.
Super telegraphed full rocket as well. That hits head on. Had to aim into that one.
That's how momentum changes. Because now all of a sudden, you know, he went from really stacked to maybe he should back off a little bit.
Yeah, they're pretty much even on HPs right now. And playing on the same champion. Spit came back up. Grego is going to leap through the spit, but note, obviously, since he is playing on the Sorlag himself, he's not going to be able to get hit by that bleed. He can only hit the direct damage on it when they're both playing on the same champion here.
Big pickup by Grego. He's looking strong. Napalm got forced off the Mega Health, and so Grego, I mean, he's playing really good right now. He's been really forcing Napalm into some tough situations.
And there we go, though. Napalm, a bit of a close-up fight. Both players trying their best to dodge around the LG and rocket shots there, but Napalm comes out on top again. Only just barely surviving, but thankfully has the full armor spawn, and in about a second here, the Mega Health spawn's going to come up too. However, pretty sure the clutch on Grego there is going to be able to beat him to the punch. Actually, no, he didn't pick it up, so it's still sitting there in the open, and Napalm doing some great damage as he makes the run back now. 2-1. Napalm is going to try to attempt this reverse sweep.
Yeah, big turnaround for him. He really needed that, obviously. I mean, he would have lost the map, but I mean, just from a confidence momentum thing, regardless, even going into the next map, you don't want to go down, you know, 3-0 and just getting washed out like that. That doesn't do good for your confidence going into the follow-up game. So it was big for him to get that round and try to, you know, push this further.
Yeah, Napalm again ready to jump back in here. We'll see if he gets a little bit more aggressive now since Grego finally dropped the round. Indeed he is. I mean, granted, he's pretty much always been the more aggressive player so far on this map. Grego's been pretty skittish about picking his fights, really only diving in when he knows he can get the kill for certain. So spawn's being in right now, but Grego's going to be happy just to stick with the Mega Health, excuse me, since he still has the full armor stock built up a little bit. It's gone now, but still has that full armor itself. And Napalm will be okay with just going for the full armor pickup across the map, as the spawns are still pretty much dead even. So as long as both players go for them at the same time, they're going to be stuck trading them at 1-1 for the time being until one tries to get aggressive and steal the other ones. Ooh, Napalm just getting destroyed by this LG though. He does have to use the spit defensively to try to keep his opponent back. Grego's still going to dive into the spit. Doesn't really seem to care too much about the dot. Now swinging around from the backside, he is also going to be able to finish it off. Napalm just couldn't keep great tracking as to where Grego was headed there, and then lost him at the end. Should have kept running into the next room, but instead stayed inside, trapped himself, and it led to his initial death as Grego's now going to get the advantage.
A little misstep with the rocket jump there.
Yeah.
Now he's hurting.
Bumped his head on the way up there, and oh, The LG helping him out a little bit here, picking up the speed, but oh, he's gonna keep running. He sees Napalm in the next room. So thankfully we'll have the speed to escape from that situation. But needs to be careful, needs to be a little bit tricky here as Napalm is trying to cut him off. I go by the full armor spawn. I think again they are gonna be okay with just trading the power-ups though. Hold on, Napalm. They ran it back in time. He didn't move away from the armor there, didn't go straight for the pickup. Both of them are, they've been sitting on the ground both for like 5 seconds now. Finally, the full armor gets picked up. Grego is going to go back now, I think, for the mega health. Oh, and there's another nice telegraph rocket. That's the second one we've seen in just 2 rounds from Grego here. And oh, the jump pad! Napalm, I think, messed it up there and ended up hitting the ceiling. So it lets Grego keep Napalm in the fight and secure the second kill now.
Yeah, Grego's been landing those fall-away rockets, right, as Napalm's trying to pursue, and he sees the 100 damage, and he quickly turns around and gets aggressive, which he should. Good. This is just good rocket placement a lot of times from Grego, and he's really forcing Napalm to kind of come at him into it. And Napalm is doing it. He's up against it a little bit, I guess, because he feels the pressure of trying to push, and he's definitely got to make a comeback now. So it's just gonna enable Grego to place more defensive rockets and force him to run into them. And I think with the speed differential, with Anarchy, I think this Anarchy is really causing him some issues. He's moving around really good, and I think he feels he has to get aggressive sometimes, and because he's so fast, he's getting really fast and trying to push as fast as he can and running into stuff as a result.
Yeah, so Napalm in a moment here. He's just going to sit on top of the mega health spawn to make sure he gets that. And he won't. Just misses the runaround, though, to try and chase Grego down to be able to steal the armor pickup. So both are going to be, again, trading 1-1 here. They've been relatively even so far on this round, specifically with those pickups. Where previously, Grego was able to steal and control both of them in some of the past rounds. So it'll be interesting to see the stats on this once we do actually complete the match. But right now, Napalm continuing to keep it passive. Really does not want to dive into this fight just yet against Grego. And Grego kind of in the same situation here. There's so many projectiles being flown at him from pretty much everywhere he tries to engage that there's no way he feels safe about this one. Napalm, though, might be getting the runaround here in a second, but no. Reads into Grego at the last second. Does hear him coming from the backside. And
yeah, Grego should know he's got about a minute left. But he's got also, it's easy to get caught up in that, it's to slow play it.
Oh, there they go. They spot each other, but no, Napalm gets the better of his opponent there. They had about a 2-second gap, and they saw each other but didn't realize it. And then finally, it's just a full-on up-close rocket brawl where Napalm does come out on top.
This is exactly where Grego, this is what I was going to mention, you need to be careful about, slow playing that, and then now you're only up 1, and now he's going to give up all the map to try to hide, and it's a very risky strategy because if he finds you, he doesn't have a rocket launcher right now. All he has is that shotgun and a tri-bolt. So
Napalm's not being super aggressive himself. That's the thing. He's only just now starting to really hop around and look for him because
I got a rocket.
I think he's just realized the time issue here. Grego's being so smart though. He's just completely evading him. So I think he's gonna run this one down the timer and then just try to win out the map on that, and he should be able to do it.
Getting the rocket launcher was big. Because now even if Napalm makes a run at him, he's gonna have to.
Look, he even saw him, just completely avoiding him. So now that he knows where he is, he can just go to the opposite side of the map. Oh, and even reads into this one too. He's trapped him. There's no way he's gonna be able to chase this kill down. There we go. Oh, that was close. If he had about 5 more seconds, he might have been able to get that kill in time.
But yeah, maybe. It's a good play by Grego. I like how he's playing.
So he is going to take map number 1. And that's the best part about it. That was only map number 1. We can see as well just how much longer this match went on compared to some of our others. Just look at like the damage numbers and whatnot here from this match. We have well over 4K. Extremely even overall there. Grego just seeming to be a lot better, hitting way more of his shots and whatnot, and had way more sustain, knew when to bail out of those fights a lot more often, made the smarter choices, it seemed.
Yeah, the rocket placement was a big factor to me, in my opinion. Watching the game, it just seemed like they get in these engagements, and it's just like right away, Grego would land one for 100 damage. It's just that was his intro into the fight. It's like, here, you're gonna come at me. Here's 100 damage for you. Now let's fight. And it really did change the momentum. And looking at the damage stats, he was more accurate with the rocket launcher in terms of just landing his shots, and he did far more damage. So it was definitely a factor.
Yeah, so we should be able to jump into the second map here in just a moment. Like I said before, Grego does currently have the advantage here, and players are going to waste no time at all actually going into the second map here. So we're going to jump right into it. We'll see if the champion selects are going to be any different this time. Maybe a little bit more tanky possibly for Napalm. Maybe not though, because like I said, that was a relatively, even though it did in like 3-1 instead of 3-2, it was still a relatively even fight overall. So both these guys may still be feeling confident about their How about their champion selects from the previous match? But the map differential may also play into it too here.
I think so. I don't think Grego. Oh, Napalm's busting out. Yeah, both of them busting out clutch.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. We saw a lot of time. We saw a few times. Definitely happened with Grego more often than not, though. Grego kind of learned how to do it as we got later into the map there, but Grego got trapped quite a bit on the Anarchy. And I think it only happened with Napalm a few times, but I guess the problem is he just ended up on the losing end of the fight so often. He needs that champion where he can just sustain a little bit more and have that emergency button to back out if needed.
Yeah, he's just those initial. It was kind of every time it seemed like he could get momentum going, Grego hit one of those 100 damage rockets on him. So I don't know what Napalm can do. He's just gonna be a little more careful, I guess, when he tries to get aggressive and make sure try not to have a rocket snack party on the way in.
Yeah. So players jumping in again, and we should be able to jump into this map in a second here. As we'll get to go to the classic map, and Grego having a little bit of fun there on the warm-up. Nice little tire of kill. Didn't get to see much use from that in the last map, unfortunately. So hopefully, now that both players are sitting on the Ranger here, we should get to see a little bit more action with that. We were seeing that a lot in the previous match with Disco. He had some really good use on the dire orb there, so I'm hoping we get to see a tad more of it with Grego this time.
Napalm did his dire orb to rail. He's grabbing heavy armor, and he missed.
Oh, did he miss it? Oh,
he felt just sure. I saw him look up at the platform afterwards, like, oh my.
Napalm does end up in a bit of an opening fight here. Connects the damage onto Grego. So he's going to push him back, but oh, you can hear that. Napalm was getting clipped on the way out of the rocket room. Now he's going to try to jump back in, but blasts himself back. However, just barely dodges his opponent's rails. He connects one himself, but just doesn't have the HP to continue that fight currently. No, not a lot of health, and you can see an example of that one there. A single rail shot brought him down to just under 20 HP, and the connection again from him, but it's not enough. Just couldn't keep his health pool high enough, and Grego continuing to press that fight. Aggressive play from him does net him the first kill.
Yeah, Napalm landed, a good combo of his own, but Grego had a nice stack as well and was able to take it and landed his own shot in return, which got the frag. So nice shooting by Grego.
Yeah, so Grego has the edge. For those that didn't already pick up on this, by the way, and did recognize the name, this is actually apparently the same Grego who has played on quite a few prominent Overwatch teams as well. So he's been prevalent in that scene for quite a bit now. I believe recently, I don't follow the Overwatch scene super close, so I know he was playing on C9 a lot of his time. I don't know what previous teams he played on before that, but for those that do follow Overwatch, this is apparently the same player.
I like seeing crossover players taking their first-person shooter skills over to another game, especially Quake. So I'm really excited to see all these players kind of cross over now that Quake is back.
So Grego, once again, looking for his opportunity to dive in and engage here. He will be backing up right now. Spots the clutch diving in, though, and there's the immediate shield pop here. The shield, though, not going to do much help as Grego timing his rockets perfectly, actually, to still connect the damage despite the shield being up. Did a good 200 plus in that fight. Napalm survives, just barely. He's only on health, though, so he's got to be a little bit careful getting bounced. Good thing Grego missed it. And the follow-up rail. Grego whiffing what could have been an easy opportunity for a second kill now. He's got to try to finish this one off. He still has Napalm low, still has him stuck into a corner. Spotted him again, over to the LGs. He chases him down, did pick up a little bit of armor. And now he himself's getting low, so Grego needs to be super careful. And he's so close. How much HP? 1 HP remaining. Napalm escapes the fight with. Oh my goodness. I thought he was dead. I didn't even see a bar, so I thought he was down already. He's still got to be careful, though.
That was really aggressive by Grego to drop down. A little risky. They both ended up low, as we saw. But, I mean, just 1 health.
Whew. So Napalm, like I said, with 1 HP, survives that fight. He's probably surprised Grego didn't dive back in there. But, yeah, like we were saying, Grego, I think, was getting low, down to like 20 or 30 himself. So he needed to bail out of that fight, too. That was just going on for way too long for both of those parties. Good thing that clutch pick came in from Napalm then, because that really saved him there.
He needed every bit of that health.
Yeah. Pretty much. 99% of it, essentially. More than that. So Napalm is still trying to kind of juke around Grego here. I like it. Sneaky play style. Now he can try to move in. Goes for the rocket. It's a little bit off the mark, so only does 40 damage. He's not trying to trace down where he went. Lost him, and he popped the dire orb, so Grego is going to escape again. get out of that fight, but in comes Napalm as he moves forward now and pops the shield, but he's going to bail out of this engagement here. Grego, smart about this one, knows it's not really safe to go for it when the shield's up, so he's just going to disengage. Trying to go for a few more pickups before he dives back into it again. There's only a minute left, too, so Grego really good at keeping this down with the timer.
1 minute warning.
Now Napalm really struggling to get the reads on him. There we go. There's a good engagement, though. Just needs to follow up with the rockets. He's got him low, and the follow-up. Finally, the good combo. He even gets the medal for it, too. Because he is able to follow through, taking down Grego. And now ties us up at 2v2, meaning that as long as no one kills anyone else in the next 40 seconds or so, the timer is not really going to be a problem here. It is going to come down to the next kill under those circumstances.
I think Grego would have wanted that back a little bit after he grabbed the heavy armor. Got a little lazy running past underneath the bridge, and Napalm just dropped down right behind him and ambushed him. So good play by Napalm, good finish. And Grego's, I think he just wanted to get away so fast. I didn't think he thought the clutch couldn't catch him, but you got to be careful with that thinking nowadays.
Yeah, Grego just being super annoying right now. Oh, that ledge, despite it being there. It's like the connection happened anyway. Now the shield really saving Napalm as he continues this fight. Hits the rail and actually keeps Grego in the fight, but rails continue to connect. And there we go. We're past the 5-minute mark, so it is going to go into sudden death. Next kill will win between these two players, and the engagement's already begun. Nicely read as well. Napalm just completely destroying Grego as soon as he goes through that portal. Timed it perfectly as well. And then mauls down his HP. He's now going to try to finish it off, but these rails from Grego are so annoying. It keeps bringing Napalm's HP down so low to where he can't really dive into that fight without risking dying himself, especially at this point when it is down to sudden death.
Yeah, the Grego, I mean,
there we go.
Nice rockets. Grego ran right into those. So
beautiful reads from Napalm at the end there. We saw that the rail as soon as Grego came out of the teleporter, and then the follow-up rockets right at the end. That's what finally allowed him to win that out there. But it was great for him to come back at the end there too. It was looking for a moment like Grego might have won the round on a timer again, but he did come back, claimed the first kill for himself on the round right towards the end there, and then it ended up taking it down to the sudden death where Napalm obviously did win.
Yeah, Grego probably wants that last minute back.
Yeah, probably. That was where everything went wrong for him, unfortunately. And that is where his seemingly more passive playstyle doesn't really favor him too much. Is that if he does finally get tracked down and put into a corner, like he has been a lot throughout this set, not just on this map, but the previous map too, that's going to continue to happen to him. So he needs to try and account for those situations a little bit better. It's only happened once so far, though. And he has successfully won the round about 2 other times while using this delay tactic. So. Napalm. Looked like he wanted to go for that fight, but
yeah, I was waiting for him to get like super aggressive there and rocket come after him. But I don't think he realized he was as low as he was.
I think he also had the spawn coming up soon and he knew it, so he might have been wanting to stick around for that instead of just die orb right up on top. Rails again. Greg, this has to be so annoying for Napalm. Just constantly Grego popping out, railing him once, and then just going away again.
Especially, he landed that initial shot, right? And then he wanted to get aggressive, and he went to jump out. I'm going to go get him at mid, and they just ate that rail. It's like,
just pop, goodbye. Yeah, it's working out well for Grego's playstyle here, but at some point, Grego also does need to dive into the fight, too, so.
Well, he's been good about picking his spots. So when he's done damage on Napalm or Napalm's ran into something, he's quickly turned around and got aggressive. So, it's just... He's been smart about choosing his engagements for the most part. So it's a pretty evenly matched game so far. I really like what we're seeing from both guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And first kills are happening really late too. This isn't like before where we have like super aggressive players that are just moving in and getting the kill within the first there was one match we had where I think we had a round end in under a minute because someone got the 3 kills so quickly. But this one I think the earliest kill we've seen is like within like 2 minutes or so in the match. This is really stalemate between these two players, but it's a very close match. They're constantly coming down to, as we saw before, the last one, Napalm was down to 1 HP on the clutch. Still somehow survived that due to Grego being forced to bail out because it just took too long to get that kill. Finally into another fight though. Grego not having the best tracking on the railgun, so he does end up dying. Tried to pour it out of there with a dire at the last minute, but Napalm just gets the better of him there. Just a straight up open LG fight, and Napalm does end up winning it out.
Yep, Grego didn't have horrible position, so it's just he just got out there. You could tell his LG was having a problem staying on Napalm when I was watching it. So Napalm just just stayed steady, stayed sharp, and got the kill.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just good lightning gun.
So Napalm's going to keep it quiet right now, since again he does have that advantage. With only 2 minutes remaining, if he can bring this down.
He just wants that mega health.
Diving into the fight, they're not the best initial engagement, and he stuck around too, so we ate another rocket. We'll end up overall with about 38 now HP. Oh, and he's stuck below too, trying to return that damage and actually forced him down below, so brought him low, but Grego, with the spin around after the injection, turns that fight back on its heels and back under his control, as he claims the refrag now, bringing it into a 2v2, but Napalm is angry. He wants the refrag himself, so he's trying to dive back into this fight. He's gonna be a little bit careful. He's only freshly spawned, doesn't have a whole lot of armor to work with, but no! Napalm kills himself. A little bit too close for comfort with those rockets.
Grego was in dire shape. Wow.
I'm kind of curious how Grego got away there. He had to get a rocket range at just the last second. Then now
well, even that other kill he got when he dropped down with the railgun, I was like, oh no, because he ate a rocket on the way down. I thought he was gonna die, and then Napalm, couldn't finish. Had a problem tracking him. He spun around the pillar and railed him again. And got the kill. It was pretty amazing turnaround. I thought he was in bad shape there at pillars, and now he's looking sweet. Like he's gonna win the round.
Yeah, this round overall has been a bit of a turnaround story from Grego, as he did start off behind, and even in that last fight, when it was down to the 3v2 there, in favor of Napalm, it was looking like Napalm was gonna win it, but right at the very end, as you mentioned, Grego had the nice little spin, almost like a 360 no scope he tried to do there with the rail. Had a little bit of flair with it. Always looks better on Anarchy, of course, so he did claim the kill and then got the follow-up as well due to Napalm just being a tad over-aggressive and then obviously killing himself. So 15 seconds
Grego
left, and Grego, yeah, at this point, I think he's just trying to delay it. I think Napalm knows it's done for, too, so he's just going to mess around with weapons a little bit here. Kill himself with the nail gun. And there you go. Grego is going to take round 2. I think he knew at that point time was too low, and when he popped the visor active, he knew it was just too far away to get the kill in time.
Yeah, he saw his opponent on the other side of the map with about 5 seconds left, and he was probably thinking, dang.
So, it's like, well, this ain't happening. So Grego does trade back the round, and we go 1-1 now into round number 3 out of 5. First to 3 will win. Grego, nice early pickup on the rails, but he is with the initial shot. Trying to tag it again. Napalm's good with his peeks, though. Keeps faking out these shots. So again, it's 3 in a row missed for Grego. Gotta hit one eventually. Oh, yeah, Grego just can't catch a break early on here. Moving out. The orb does come in, baited into the shot again. And they have 5 shots in a row missed from Grego. It's not looking too good for him right now.
Stopwatch.
Thankfully, he's being pretty passive himself, so he's not taking too much damage either.
Yeah, he just wants to. I'm always leery when you don't have a rocket launcher because you don't want to come around the wrong corner at the wrong time. So that's why he made a good play, just taking his time, and you don't need to rush at him. Just try to get some peak rails, and when he got his chance, he went over there and grabbed the rocket launcher, so he has a more full kit now.
Yeah, finally hits the rail there on his 6th attempt, so get his first connection of the round. But Napalm, he's gonna be pushed back a little bit here. He actually is going to miss out on this armor spawn if he's not careful. He needs to try and get a bit more aggressive here. Grego, obviously not going to port off that since the spawn is coming in right now. Grego claims it, so best hope for Napalm is to not run away and try to go over to the mega health. But for Grego, he's also chasing this down. Definitely don't think he's going to be able to make it there in time. But
I might look to try to get a peak rail on him. It's good, again, that initial engagement, Napalm, again, they get rocket from Grego, just slugs him, and he really changed that fight at heavy armor.
Almost hit Napalm again there, too. You can see it. One blown up right in front of his face. Thankfully, he dodges the damage. Now, Napalm did delay the pickup on the health a little bit there, too. Ooh, look at this. Look at this little angle from Napalm. He's trying to use it. Ah, I can't find him, though. Got a great position, however. Trying to shoot him through the gate on top. A little decoration there. Oof. Napalm.
Oh, he's in big trouble.
Yeah, he's having a rough time with these rails now, so he's down 20 HP. I mean, even running through that long hallway is a bit risky. It's very easy for Grego to just dive down there and hit a long-range shot. So Napalm, ooh, on the ropes now, and the LG's going to do a whole lot to him as it does chase him down and give Grego the first kill of the round at just over 2 minutes.
I like it's like Grego, he slow plays when he needs to, but when the opportunity's there, he does get aggressive. The mega health was there, but he left it down. He wanted to stay on top of Napalm and make sure he finished the frag. If he went and got the mega health, maybe he doesn't have that time to get back and get the frag there. So I like the calculated aggression to get the finishing, the finishing shots in. Frags in this is huge. Every frag counts. It's really big.
Napalm trying to be super careful. You can see it there below. We were looking at Grego's perspective. He's trying to trap Grego and hit him with this beautiful combo to start. The problem is he has to put himself in these really low ground positions in order to do that. Most of the time, that's not going to be advantageous to him in the long run of the fight. It'd be great for just a quick rail shot or two and maybe a rocket follow-up, but in the long run of things, he may not really be able to get a kill off of that. So he's got to be a bit more careful here.
A little error by Grego. I don't think he's... Maybe he didn't realize the Mega Health was up that last time when he went for the kill. He just left it there for Napalm. Definitely an error that Napalm could capitalize on.
Yeah, now Napalm's going to dive back into this fight here. A lot of LG damage being done from up close, and oh, just barely clips on that rail too. Grego won't be able to escape for now, but only with a tad of health. Was just over 25 when he actually got out of the fight. So he survives for now. But he's got to be careful. He doesn't want, round one happening all over again, where he did have the advantage initially, but then in the last, minute and a half, lost it, and then ended up losing in overtime.
Impressive.
I was a little surprised Napalm didn't just turn on his shield and get really aggressive with the rocket launcher back there, but
Grego.
When he was LGing him, I thought he could have just pushed the rocket launcher and shield.
Grego missing another very important rail shot here now. Look at this. Napalm using the movement passive there from the clutch to try and get in front of his opponent, and Grego, that's another 1 HP escape. I won't call it an escape just yet. The clutch is still close by, but it's looking like he's okay for the time being. Just trying to be very quiet. He's got to watch out for that port. Oh, looks like he successfully juked him. So Grego, nicely done, as he just barely gets out of that fight. Same as Napalm in the first round there.
He's got to be really careful. I know he's trying to protect that lead, but this clutch is stacked. If he runs into him around the corner with the rocket, he's in big trouble.
Now,
and he has the shield up.
He does have the dire pop to get up on some high ground, though, as his opponent just fell down from below. So he'll be safe for another few seconds here. However, not forever, though. Moves in, is able to pop off some damage. Not as much because of the passive there from the clutch. So it only did 64 damage instead of the usual 80 on the rail. But nonetheless, he's once again delaying this. And Napalm throwing out the raffle there. As I think he gave up again. I think he is just going to let Grego win this round on timer for a second time now. And there we go.
Yeah, it's just, Napalm, just sometimes, we've seen it, even in the last match where he would start off well and he just can't quite get the finish, several times. It's just, can't quite get that finishing shot on Grego, whether it's machine gun, rail, rocket, pick a weapon. He just can't seem to finish him. And then it seems on the other side, Grego, when he has Napalm in a hurtful, hurt critical spot, that he is getting really aggressive and making the most of those chances far more often than Napalm. And I think that's kind of been the story of the match, along with the rockets. I think he's landed some of the harder rockets overall.
Well, Grego now sitting back a little bit here in the rail. Oh, it does clip off the side, so it's not going to make full connection just yet. Grego pushed into a corner. He does have the escape in the blood pit if he wants to go through that route. And he is going to take it. Unfortunately, Napalm not able to completely chase it down. So Grego, ooh, nice lead into the rockets too, and the misconnection on the rail keeps him up in the advantage, and now Napalm's actually going to dive into this fight. But Nash just barely is able to chase down that kill. Plasters him to the wall right at the end so that he can follow through with that final rocket connection and claim the first kill. But he's got to be a little bit careful as the spawn from Grego is happening right over here inside of the armor room. And he's still a little bit low on HP, so he doesn't want to dive back into that fight immediately.
A good dive initial by Napalm, especially because Grego had the rail. I mean, even he did hit the shot, and it didn't matter because of the reload time. So as long as you just get in there and land your rockets, he's done. Don't panic, land your rockets.
Napalm again trying to still go forward and make sure he keeps his pickups. He is a little bit low on rocket ammo there, so you might want to make a run over to there in a second here. But Grego also is going to end up in that relative area of the map in a moment. Whether Napalm knows or not. He should have been able to hear him a second ago, so yeah, moves into it. Both players missing their initial shots, and Grego, excellent job at dodging the rockets. He is going to be able to escape most of that. As now he locks on with the LG. And, oh, the rails as well, but Napalm missing a lot of his shots after he switched over to the rails. Finally makes a connection. And is trying his best to bait his opponent into going a different direction, but it didn't work. Grego was smart about that one. Knew he wasn't actually going to take the jump on the Dire Orb. And now Napalm, he's put himself into a corner. Extremely low, only 30 HP. And Grego has to get aggressive to get this kill. Just missed him, even though Napalm was put into a corner. Missed the rail shot. And now Napalm just juking Grego, trying to stay alive as he slowly leeches some health back. Up to 75 and finally 100, but he still has no armor. That's going to change now, though, as he finally gets a little bit of a mini armor pickup there and tries to turn this fight around.
Interesting what Grego's doing. It's throwing Napalm off a little bit. So when he got into trouble, Grego had the heavy armor was up. And, you know, Napalm's playing off of that, thinking, oh, he's going to go get the heavy armor. But he didn't. He left it there, and he just stayed aggressive and tried to cut off the map. So I think caught Napalm a little off guard. I'm wondering if he's starting to pick up on that a little bit, and we'll start to pick him a little better.
Napalm getting tagged again. There's those annoying rails from Grego that we kept talking about earlier in the round, earlier in the match. Let's do it again here. Grego's got incorrect read as to where his opponent is in current form. He's close by. But he didn't go directly for this mega health pickup. The armor's still up too, so Grego can stack right now if he wants to. He just got to be really careful, obviously. Doesn't have the most amazing health pool on Anarchy, so.
Yeah, but Napalm, he's not in a, you know, he's in a weaker position right now. He doesn't have timer on items, on the major items. He has to be really careful slow playing right now. There's still 90 seconds left.
There's the jump in from Grego. Does a lot of damage initially, and now he's going to dive in with the LG to finish off the job. Finally trading back that kill, as he did lose earlier on his Ranger. So now this goes down 2v2 with 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the round. Grego trying once again to walk out where Napalm is. Napalm over to the clutch now, so he does have oodles of health to play with. And armor as well, if he can get that fully stacked up. But oh, Grego get absolutely wrecked. Gets trapped in that room. Seemingly makes no attempt to even get out of there. As he just gets double railed and eliminated now as Napalm takes back the advantage.
Yeah, being too passive, you know, just kind of sitting in one area of the map while your opponent's running around grabbing stuff. And you got to be careful doing that. You know, I know he's trying to slow play, but at the same time, you can't stop reading your opponent and making plays off of that. Which usually implies you're gonna have to move at some point. It's good shots by Napalm. You know, landed those 2 rails on the lighter character and got the kill. You got to be careful doing that. So slow playing is, you know, it's tricky business. It's not as easy as it looks to just back up. You really have to read your opponent.
There's the shield pops. Both of them going at each other with the shields. Over to the rails for Napalm, as he did definitely get the better amount of damage off. Grego going to be on the ropes here, and now Napalm knows it, so he's running away. He knows that if Grego jumps in, oh, what's this? It's going to be a little bit of fun at the end, maybe? Careful! You could still die there. Okay, but he does make it past the 5-minute mark, so it's going to go, and we'll end up in round number 5. Sudden death round. Next one will win this map here.
3, 2, 1, fight.
2-2. Things being fully stacked up. Napalm gets a nice run around here initially. However, for Grego, he has the LG currently, but seems to be okay with wanting to dive in on a fight. But Napalm, nice reads into the situation. Does catch that, but still, Grego eats himself that rail. So he's going to end up relatively low. Only 75 HP remains. Tagged again. Thankfully, picked up some armor there. Otherwise, he would have been a 10-man. 45 HP remaining, and again, has to go scavenging for some more pickups here. The health is coming up in just under a few seconds here, but so low. He needed that health, but it just didn't spawn in time. So Napalm gets the initial frag, and now we'll have the full armor and potentially the mega health as well if he can route back over there in time.
Yeah, I don't think Grego realized he left it there that whole time. He still hasn't gone over there.
So Napalm has the advantage. Is gloating a little bit there. However, Napalm was allowed to go and get both of them, so he's going to be tanked up.
Yeah, Grego's just sitting on the armor spawn. A little fortunate that Napalm wasn't there with good position. Got to be careful sitting on items like that.
Yeah, now Napalm, again, same as before, really just wasting time now. Trying to run that timer up a little bit. So he does have the advantage, but oh, nicely done. Patience ends up being a virtue for Napalm, as it doesn't lead him into a free rail shot against Grego. So that'll take off some of his HP. However, hello from Grego as he pops into the room. Not even sure if Napalm saw that one coming. Thankfully, Napalm again holds his own. Brings Grego's health down to just around 50 with about a half tick of armor.
There's still plenty of time. I mean, if Napalm plans on not engaging and just giving up map control the whole this whole round, I don't know if that's the best idea.
And there we go. Napalm had the right read on that at first. If you were looking at his perspective, he did have his rockets aimed right at the slope for the jump pad. And the problem is he like looked away just as Grego was going off the jump pad, so he missed his opportunity to get like a free, 80+ damage rocket onto his opponent there, and that's when things really went badly because he did just stand right on that pillar and then just ate all the damage from Grego. So that brought it back down to 2v2, and now both these guys gotta get a little bit more aggressive as they are hunting for a kill to get a bit more of an advantage.
Grego's in a good spot. She get really aggressive for this mega health, and Napalm's gonna look to avoid.
Napalm also going right to his clutch on the second spawn too. He definitely wants that that extra health, considering Grego's definitely been the more aggressive player so far in this map. Those rails, we haven't seen a whole lot of that though. His rails have kind of fallen off in the past couple of rounds here. He was really good at it in the first like 2 or 3 rounds, but these past 2 we haven't seen as much proficiency with the railgun, unfortunately. So he has been falling behind a tad with his ability to connect on those shots.
He hit that one though.
Now is going to try to look for a little bit more here too. Grego, regardless, is still going to be pretty low himself here now, but given plenty of time to fall back and recover, so he'll be allowed to escape this situation. I'm getting low, however, so if Grego still ends up losing this battle, he's going to have to look to recover and try to refrag that against Napalm quickly. This is where the secondary clutch pick does come in very handily, since the extra health pool not only helps him out with his capability to win the actual fight that should be coming up here soon, but also should help him out as well with surviving off of the fresh spawn from Grego. Assuming, of course, that Napalm wins the next fight in the event that Grego wants to try and go in and quickly try and trade that out to take it into overtime.
Some miscalculations here by both guys in regards to heavy armor and mega health timing. I think it's kind of interesting. Because that mega health was sitting there for a while, and then because of that error by Grego, the heavy armor was also sitting there for Napalm, who didn't know that it was going to be up, so he didn't take advantage of it. It's just interesting because it really worked out in Grego's favor actually in the end, because he ended up grabbing pretty much everything.
Bit of a peekaboo from Grego there again, try and find out, but now Napalm, you could just, just look at that health stack on the left side, sitting at just under 200 HP currently, so he's ready to engage, and they need to do it soon if they want to try to win this on timer, otherwise it is going to come down to the next kill regardless. Basically, at this point in time, it is next kill wins now, with only 20 seconds left. He's going to dive back down right into the Hornet's Nest, though, as Grego is waiting for that one. Connected onto the initial rail. Napalm is going to take the high grounds, and spawns are coming up in just a second here. They both are going to back away. They know this is going into OT, and they know that this life is everything. This is what defines not only this round, but it will also define who actually wins this map. And for Grego, the match, too, since he does have the 1 map lead, so he definitely wants to win this one for sure. And that explains why we saw that last moment disengage there, so they could both go for pickups. Napalm, however, has not gone for his just yet. He's still sitting at full HP. I think he wants to split the timer up a little bit, which explains why he's only just now going for it. And it's a good thing, too, because the second he picks it up, he gets hit by a rail.
Yeah, Grego's at match point right now. You don't want to give Napalm another chance on another map, so definitely want to close this out if you're Grego.
Napalm, oof, nicely done despite having the low ground there and seemingly getting trapped, still leads into a 100 damage rocket. That's going to destroy Grego's armor pool, force him back. Thankfully, the spawn timer worked out. He's got the full armor ready to go, so he's going to be able to easily recover that armor pool there. Back up to full strength now. Napalm over here, still looking for the right moment to engage on Grego, but just can't find it. He's also got to run back and, could mess up here. He's got to be careful.
Oh, he lost
is up on top, and now he's only down to 35 HP, stuck into a corner. The rockets continue to flow through, and Grego dives back in to get the final kill of not only this map, but the match as well, as he's going to take this map 3-2, end this match 2-0.
Good finish by Grego. Napalm looks like he lost him a little bit there. I think he at the final kill, he lost his tracking on his opponent and just ate that rocker.